You're never gonna build an athletic, pain-free, capable, or your dream body if you're not willing to invest in yourself. When I started my self-improvement journey, I was terrified to spend money on myself. I would binge YouTube hoping to find all the answers to fix my problems. I was training hard, but I was still getting injured and I was still being set back by lower back flare-ups and shoulder issues that realistically held me back for a long time. But at the same time, I would spend €50 a week on weed, probably another €50 a week in the pub, and I'd spend hundreds of euros a month buying stupid stuff online and in the shops. But over the last 3.5 years, I stopped trying to cheat my way to results, and I've actually spent over €20,000 on my body, mind, and my business. So today I'm breaking down exactly where all that money went and why it's the best decision I ever fucking made. The first big investment I ever made into my training was joining Uncom. This is a training network ran by Keegan Smith, who in my opinion is one of the best strength coaches on the planet. He's worked directly under Charles Poliquin, who is arguably one of the best strength coaches of all time. And Keegan was also one of the co-creators of ATG, ran by Knees Over Toes guy. For me, when I joined Uncom, it was probably the biggest decision I ever made. In total, I was a part of the network for 3 years. And in that time, I spent at least €4,000. This was beyond worth the investment because being in this network allowed me to, one, upscale my abilities as an athlete and as a coach. I learned various different methods to improve strength, to improve flexibility, to improve overall body aesthetics. I also met a lot of coaches that I could network with and learn from. During this time, I also traveled to Bali to meet and stay with Keegan for 3 days. During this period, I cannot explain how much I learned about my body and about training. That investment literally shaped who I am and where I am today. Arguably the best decision I've ever made. The decision to join Uncom also led me to go to the Bali time chamber. This was a pretty big investment. I spent roughly around €2,000, more including flights, to spend 20 days in an enclosed environment where I was surrounded by elite street lifters. These guys taught me the ins and outs to doing weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, muscle-ups, handstands. I spent 20 days training 2 to 3 times a day. This 20 days was beyond transformative for me personally. The amount of energy I gained just from being around those people spurred me on to actually quit my job and pursue coaching. And it literally lit a fire within inside me to get in the best possible physical shape I could. After I came home from the Bali time chamber, I was itching to improve my handstands. So I invested in a handstand coach. I was with this coach for the guts of 6 months. We worked on handstands and we worked on ring muscle-ups. For this period, I spent €900. In reality, this was an absolute bargain because when I first started with Niels, this handstand coach, I was holding handstands for probably 10 seconds. By the end of the 6 months, my handstands were up 25 seconds. Learning handstands was probably one of the most transformative things I could have ever done. It all started joining Uncom. That's where I was first exposed to the idea that it's possible to learn a handstand and it's actually not as hard as you think. So making that €900 investment was really nothing because I knew it was going to be worth it. And I forgot to mention that before all of this happened, I actually used to pay over €100 a month for a CrossFit membership. I could have easily paid €30 a month for a regular gym membership, but the coaching I was receiving every session again shaped my physical abilities to this day. During this time, I learned that quality is better than quantity. I learned that more weights sometimes isn't a good thing, and technique was drilled into my head. I done CrossFit for probably the guts of 3 to 4 years, and I've easily spent over €2,000 on memberships. But even to this day, I'm still spending money on my body. Last month, I went to Greece for a movement retreat. I spent €1,000 for this. However, going to Greece, I was in a completely different space. I was running my own coaching business. I could do a backflip, a handstand, muscle ups. I could do all these cool things. I always know that I don't know everything, and I'm always a student. And spending 9 days surrounded by people that are better than me at a lot of things, again lit that fire within my stomach and taught me that there is a lot of different ways to do a lot of different things. So not only did going to Greece help improve my fitness and my physical abilities, but it also transformed how I think as a coach. So in total, that's €10,000 to improve my body, my athleticism, and my knowledge of training. Was it worth it? Abso-fucking-lutely. I've never felt as good physically. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. And without sounding cocky, I can do a lot of cool stuff. Handstands, backflips, heavy pull-ups, heavy dips, heavy squats, splits, all of this stuff, and many more. And this isn't to brag, but I wouldn't have learned any of this stuff if I didn't invest in myself, to put myself in situations to learn from people who knew more than me and were better than me. Is €10,000 a lot of money? 100%. But if you add up all the little things you spend your money on, I guarantee they're gonna be roughly the same. And look, on top of all the physical stuff, I've invested way over €1,000 on my business. And I'm not saying this to brag, because I worked my ass off for years to save money. But investing in high-level business coaching felt like a necessity for me, because if I'm gonna deliver a high-quality coaching service, then I wanna make sure that I have all the systems in place, guaranteed to give you the best possible experience to achieve the best possible results, instead of just winging it, unfortunately, like most coaches do. So what are the big takeaways from all of this? Well, I didn't just buy coaching. I bought speed, because I paid people that have already achieved what I want to achieve to teach me how they've done it. This fast-tracked my progress. It allowed me to learn crazy movements in a relative short space of time, because instead of spending hours, if not days, scouring the depths of YouTube looking for all these little tips, I just paid someone to put their knowledge in a structured format for me to just copy and do. So I skipped years of trial and error and fast-tracked my progress. So many people are willing to spend hundreds of euros on the weekends, going out, getting blackout drunk, spending all their money on takeaways, on weed, buying clothes that they do not need, and basically just wasting their money on things that give them short-term gratification. But if you are someone who knows you're capable of more, I highly urge you to invest in yourself. Doesn't have to be me, but if you want something, there is somebody out there that is willing and capable of teaching you. If you have money, if you have a good job, don't waste it. Because ask yourself this: if you achieve everything you want to achieve, is €1,000 actually that expensive? Not really. If you are serious and ready to make real lasting changes with your body to become the strongest, most flexible, and the best looking version of yourself that there's ever been, I offer a free movement assessment. No strings attached. You do the movement assessment, I give you insights on where you're currently at, and I give you some feedback on what you need to do to achieve your goals. If we are the right fit to work together, we can discuss further. If not, cool, we go about our merry ways. No strings attached. If this sounds like something you want to do, simply just check the link in my description for more information. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, do that right now. Like this video because it helps more than you know, and drop a comment on the biggest investment you ever made in yourself.